6th standard, right? So this is the continuation of that chapter. In 6th standard we have conducted a simple experiment where we have connected wire, battery and a bulb and two nails. In between we have put a wire and we put a key in that. So the game was to pass a key from here, this corner to that corner without touching the wire. All of you might remember that game where a key will be hanged between two terminals or two wires connected to iron nails, and we have to pass the key without touching the wire. If the key touches the wire, then it will make a sound, right? So that game was there. So here the electric circuit basically consists of wires, cell and a switch and sometimes electric bulb also. So how are all these things represented? They are some symbols for this electric current. So for electric cell, the normal cell which we use in the remotes especially. So the symbol of the electric cell is this, and electric circuit consists of electric bulb also. The symbol of electric bulb is this. And when switch in on position, this is the symbol, and the switch is in off position, this is the symbol. And for the wire, this is the symbol. And for a battery where two ends will be connected, with the positive terminal will be connected to a negative terminal. To that battery, this is the symbol. So let's see some instances where we can indicate the circuit with symbols. So in any electric circuit, two batteries will always be side by side. In a torch, right? In a torch especially, we see batteries side by side. So how? Here the batteries are usually in a straight line, that is in a horizontal direction. So always the batteries are connected, positive terminal, always in a circuit, two opposite terminals of the batteries are kept side by side. So here the negative terminal is attached to the positive terminal. Plus is the positive terminal of a battery always, and minus is the negative terminal of a battery. In any cell we buy from the market, always on the two ends, one side plus will be there, one side minus will be there, which indicates that one is the positive terminal of the battery and the other is the negative terminal of the battery. And always the opposite ends of the two batteries are connected. Always a positive end will be connected to a negative end only. Never a positive and the positive end will never be connected like that. So in a battery, torchlight for example, batteries will be arranged like this, one above the other. So in that stage, the negative terminal will always touch the positive terminal. And suppose if the batteries are arranged like this, side by side, not one above the other, then how the wires will be connected in this type of connection also? Always the positive terminal will go and touch the negative terminal. So say this is the positive terminal, here is the negative terminal. So the wires will be connected side by side like this. So if the battery setup is like anything, whether side by side, one above the other, always the wires which will be connected to, positive terminal to negative terminal. No positive and negative connection will never be there. In a circuit to complete, the terminals of the battery should always touch in opposite direction to each other. A positive terminal should touch a negative terminal, otherwise a negative terminal should touch a positive terminal only. Then only the circuit will complete and the bulb will glow or the light will glow. So in this instance, here also in a suppose a wooden plank is taken and the batteries are arranged this way. So how the two batteries are connected like this. So how will the circuit complete? So the wire will pass like this above these two terminals, touching these two metal plates. These are the metal plates, this is a wooden plank, these two are the cells. When these two cells are placed beside each other, the wire will run like this above the cells, touching this is a metal plate. This blue color indicates the metal plate. So this wire will run like this on the outer side of the cell. So in a torchlight also, the cell will be placed one above the other. So how will the circuit complete? Surrounding the cell, a thin strand of wire will run. So that is how the circuit completes. When the switch of the torchlight is switched on, it touches these metal plates are surrounded by this wire, thin strand of wire. At that time, both the negative and the positive terminal of the cell touch each other. This wire will touch these metal plates and the circuit completes and the bulb glows. Take one more instance. Take a wooden plank and take two iron nails and take a safety pin. So in this instance what you see, the safety pin is connected to both the ends and to both the ends of the cells, and the bulb is glowing, that is circuit is completing. So how is the circuit completing here? In this instance, the switch is on. The switch is in on direction. Here the safety pin is attached to two nails, two iron nails, and this is in switch on position. The safety pin is touching both the nails and the two ends of the wires are connected to a battery and this end is connected to a bulb. So here the circuit is completed. How? Both the end terminals of the battery are connected to the switch and the bulb is glowing and the flow of electricity is there and the circuit is completing. On a wooden plank, two iron nails are placed and a safety pin is attached. This safety pin acts as a switch. So when this safety pin touches both the iron nails, that means the switch is in on position. Suppose if the safety pin touches only one nail, then suppose in this direction, in this you see the safety pin is touching only one nail, but here the safety pin is touching both the nails. That is, it means that the switch is in on position. This safety pin is imagined as the switch. So here the safety pin is touching both the nails, both the ends of the nails. The switch is in on position. It is connected to the two terminals of the battery, that is the positive terminal and the negative terminal. This is the wire and it is also connected to a bulb. So when the safety pin is touching these two things, the switch is in on position and there is a flow of electricity between the battery to the bulb and so the bulb glows. This instance is indicated in the symbolic form here. So this is the symbol of a bulb here, right? This bulb is represented by this symbol. So bulb, then the battery, this is the battery and this is the on position of the switch. This is the on position of the switch. This is indicated by bulb. So this is bulb here, this is on position of the switch and this is the battery, electric cell. So this instance is indicated here, that indicates that switch is in on position. There is a flow of electricity and the bulb glows. And in this situation what we see, the switch is in off position. Switch is in off position. For same instance, the switch is in off position here. So here the bulb doesn't glow. Only when the switch is in on position, there will be a flow of electricity and the circuit completes. Then only the bulb will glow. When the switch is in off position, the bulb will not glow because the circuit will not complete and there is no flow of electricity. So this is how electric current symbols are there and any circuit can be represented easily with the help of symbols. And representing the electric circuit with the help of symbols, representing the electric circuit with the help of symbols is much easier to represent any circuit with the help of symbols. So that is how symbols help in representing the electric circuit and the bulb. And this is how the instances where the electric circuits are connected are represented with the help of symbols. And it is very easier to study. These symbols make the circuit easier for us to study and understand. If any electric circuit is there, there will be wire, there will be bulbs, and there will be two terminals of a battery, etc. So when any wire gets hot, electric current passes through it. Suppose this is a nickel chromium wire we have taken here, and here the circuit is on, that is switch is off position, that is there is no flow of electricity. So if this circuit is in on position, that is if the switch is in on position, then what happens? The current flows. Here we have taken a 10 cm nickel chromium wire and we have passed electricity with the help of a battery or a cell. And the switch is in off position. Suppose if the switch is in on position for some time and then you switch it off, when you touch the wire and see, you will feel little the wire is heated. So whenever in any wire electric current passes, it gets heated. This principle applies for all the electric appliances like electric heater, room heaters, bulb filaments. In the bulb we have thin strand of wire, right, that is filament. Then element of the electric geysers, then iron what we iron the clothes, then ovens we have. In all these appliances we have elements. Elements are made up of wires which are coiled. They are usually made up of copper. So coil of these wires act as the element here. So whenever current is passed, this coil of wire gets heated and produces heat. So in this situation, when the switch is in off position, the circuit will not complete. But when the switch is in on position, there will be a flow of electricity and then the circuit completes. And then if we touch the wire for a few seconds and observe, the wire will get heated. That is nothing but the heating effect of the electric current. So in all these things, in electric room heater also, after switching it on for some time, we feel the room is heated. Why? Because the coil of the wire will be heated, and if you touch the electric heater, it will be very hot. light. As soon as we switch on the bulb, there will be a thin strand of wire inside known as the filament. So that filament gets heated and gives so much, it gets heated that it produces color also, reddish yellowish color. So when we touch the bulb, we cannot touch it, it will be so much hot. So all this is nothing but the heating effect of current. So the amount of heat produced in a wire depends on the material, thickness as well as the length. So the nature of the wire determines the amount of heat produced, and wires used for making electric circuit do not normally become hot. So we use only a thin strand of wire in showing any electric circuit. Those wires generally do not become hot, but elements of the electrical appliances become hot. Sometimes they become so hot that they melt and break. But these electrical appliances, these become hot and sometimes so hot that they even melt and break. So if you are giving a connection for an electric geyser or say an air conditioner, that time you use wire of high capacity. That means the coil of the wire will be high. There will be many layers of the copper wire inside the coil. Whereas for small electric circuits, we only use a thin strand of wire. So the thickness of the wire also matters. Suppose for example, you are connecting an electric circuit instead of one battery. You are connecting it. Suppose you are connecting an electric circuit not with one battery, say 4 batteries, and only with a thin strand of wire. That time what happens? When the switch is in on position, there will be excess amount of current flowing in that wire. At that time what happens? Due to that excess amount of current from 4 batteries, the wire will become hot and melt away. This principle applies in the electric fuses in our houses. So sometimes suddenly when there is excessive supply of current, the fuse goes off. Then our parents or elders say fuse has gone. That time what they do, they remove the fuse and see that the wire has burnt away. Why? Because whenever there is excessive supply of electric current, there will be short circuit or the fuse will go away. And nowadays what is happening is there is something called MCB, miniature circuit breakers, in our fuses in our houses, in the electric boards. In that miniature circuit breakers or MCBs, what happens is whenever there is excessive flow of current, automatically the fuse goes off to the on position. So that is how we will know that there is excessive flow of current and the fuse will go to the off position. At that time what we do, we go and again put it to the on position. So sometimes in our current, suppose there is 3-phase electric supply. Sometimes in one phase there will be no current. Why? Because the fuse will be gone. If we go and see the main electric board, one of the fuse will be in the off position. Why? Because due to irregular supply of current or due to excessive overload of current. Then what are these causes of this electric short circuit? Direct touching of the wires. Suppose if these wires are not separate and they are directly touching each other, electric circuit may happen. Or if the insulation wire has worn and torn, wear off and the torn off, wear off of the insulation wire is there, then also electric circuits happen. Then if the connection of many devices is given in one socket, if you have given overload, if in one socket we have connected many devices, in that stages also electric short circuit may happen. In the newspapers, in the TV we hear many news about the short circuits, fires. Why? Because there will be irregular or excessive supply of current that leads to the short circuit. So generally the electric fuse goes away. That means suppose instead of this nickel chromium wire, we have put a small steel wire and put a load of many currents. What happens? As soon as the current is passed, the wire will get heated and melt away, the stainless steel wire. That is, it cannot withstand that much capacity. That is the reason many layers of copper wire will be placed in the coils. So excessive heat produces short circuit. So always when a wire is heated, it produces heat. So that is the heating effect of current. Whenever power is switched on, whenever the circuit is complete, whenever the switch is in on position, the electric current flows, the circuit completes and the wires get heated. The elements, the coil of the elements get heated. Same principle applies in the electric heater also. We can cook on this electric heater. How? Because when we switch on the current, the coil or the element of the wire gets heated and produces heat, due to which the food gets cooked. Same way in geysers, in geysers, and then iron. How do we iron the clothes? There will be a coil of element